Well, welcome to Dream Season 10. You know, throughout the 10-year history of Dream Season,
we have touched on many different subjects within a hunter's life.
Well, this year's title is no different. We're diving further into the bond of a family than ever before.
It's fathers and daughters, it's husbands and wives, it's brothers, it's nephews, it's cousins. It's a real family affair.
We hope you enjoy Dream Season 10.
It was created for you.
Here we go again. Seems like just yesterday we were doing this. Today is September the 15th. It's the opening day of Missouri's archery season. I'm hunting in a spot we haven't hunted much. Looks like it needs to be trimmed. This is one I haven't visited for over a year. And there's limbs. It's a pretty good example of being lazy. I should have been in here in June or July, trimming this and making sure that I had shooting lanes. I did it to a lot of my stands, but I didn't get to this one. And I'm gonna be battling, trying to pick a spot through these holes. I've got good shooting back here, which is where I'm expecting them to come from. Got a Clover Plus field here in front of me. We'll see what happens. She's done. New range broadhead. First deer I've shot at with that new range broadhead. Really did the trick. She went down right there. We'll be able to drive up to her and load her up. Perfect. September the 15th, opening day. First doe down. That's awesome. Well, September is that time of the year when I feel as though management's important. This is one of our old reliable spots. We've shot a lot of does out of this tree. And I'm hoping to shoot a doe or two out of it soon. You know, early September is the time of the year when you can really be effective trying to manage and harvest does. That's just what I set out to do, is try and harvest as many does as I possibly can. You know, a lot of people elect to wait until the end of the season to try and do their management. And we're just the opposite of that. Mark and I will take advantage of harvesting a doe every opportunity that we get. Stepping out down the other end of the field. He's just coming out. Oh, that's pretty good. That's a nice deer. You know, here we are looking at this buck all the way at the other end of the field. You know, his antlers were kind of glistening in the sun. They looked really, really snow white. What pops out but a beautiful doe right underneath the tree? I'm not about to let her walk off, even though he was at the other end of the field. Broadheads are absolutely lethal, and that was a tremendous shooter down the other end. I'm probably booking him up a little bit, but oh well. Management at its finest. Allowing a 5.5-year-old buck to walk off and harvesting a doe. There's just a lot of guys I know that think I'm crazy. Well, here we go. It's the afternoon of September the 20th, my birthday. And I won't disclose my age because I'm getting too old to tell anybody about it. We're going to a spot that requires a southerly wind flow. That's what we've got. We've got a southeast. It's a good afternoon set, and there's been a lot of deer using it, a lot of deer on it. We've got a wildlife eye set out there, hoping to get some footage of some deer. And with it being my birthday today, I'm hoping to try and kill a buck. I've never, ever harvested a buck on my birthday, so we'll see what happens. nice deer. Shake and bake. Man, he walked right under us, and I thought I heard him crash up there. We just had an encounter with a little small deer right here, and I didn't want to shoot it, so I hung my bow back up, and I'll be doggone if we didn't get 4 other deer right here under us. And I had my bow hanging up. The old Boy Scout thing, I wasn't prepared. But it worked out pretty good. He walked out of these does, kind of acting as decoys. He literally walked underneath my tree, directly downwind. We had over scent blocker on, and he was, directly downwind. I thought I heard him crash, so I want to go check and see if I can find him. He's a nice buck. He's no monster, but he's nice. You know, I had beans in this field all summer, and then we just recently planted maximum. It's coming up. We've had some rain, and there's a giant track all over in this field right underneath the stand. And I've got a wildlife eye. I just put a wildlife eye camera out the other day over this fresh scrape, and I'd almost bet money, or I'm hoping, that he's on my wildlife eye. Now, I haven't found him yet, but I've got a huge track where he took off running, and I've got blood over here where I laid my bow. It's a giant. I'm hoping that's him, and I'm hoping I got video footage of him. Look at that. A lot of air in it, lung blood. I hit him back a little bit, but he was quartering away, so I wanted to catch that off lung. So I don't know if it got liver lung or double lung. I'm not real sure, but I just know he's hurt real bad. I thought I heard him go down. Here he's giving us a good blood trail, so we'll just go ahead and follow him. We're still in blood here. There he is. Here he lays right here. Right here. Look at that. Cool. You know, I went the entire 2005 season and never shot a buck with my bow. So this is the first buck I've killed in 2 years. And here it is, my birthday today, and got lucky. This big old dog walked right underneath the tree. I'm using a new Rage broadhead, and I put it back a little bit. He was quartering away, and it came out the off shoulder there. He ran about 80 to 100 yards from tree stand. I can see it from here. And I got a tag on him. All I got to do is get him field dressed, get him in the truck, and head to the locker. Boy, I couldn't be a happier camper right now, I'll tell you. I can't wait to holler at Mark and let him know. He's gonna be tickled to death. Well, I had a particular treat that I was really looking forward to here in Missouri Firearms, and that was to be able to hunt with my son, Matt. We'll let him go. Dad thinks it's a 3. That's awesome.
Well, Matt was coming up with the intention to harvest a few does. He really wasn't planning on trying to harvest a buck, and as luck would have it, we sat in a particular blind where this really, really nice 3.5-year-old deer, we nicknamed him Prince because he had somewhat of a crown on his head, walked out, and we just couldn't believe it. He was a gorgeous deer, close to 150 inches, maybe the biggest deer that Matt has ever seen before. I don't know. He hasn't hunted a great deal, but it was one that turned out to be a tremendous encounter at any rate.
What was a good deer? Yeah. I don't know, he looked pretty big running down through there. It's the biggest deer I've ever seen in person. I passed it. We'll let Taylor shoot it.
He left the field once more, decided not only to go back into the timber, but he was going to come out one more time.
Is that karma? He keeps coming out. It's tempting. He kept grabbing it practically. He's not. How many times can one deer pose for you? I think he wanted us to shoot him. I was really thinking about it by the 4th or 5th shot opportunity he gave us.
This deer was absolutely begging to be harvested, and we just took in the show. We sat there, had a good time. We're hoping that he'll stay kind of in the home core area there, or the home range, and we'll be able to get an eyeball on him next year.
What's that for? So you can clean the windows. A clean box blind is a happy box blind. Unfortunately, she's gonna have to wait.
Well, we're still on our doe management mission. We're having a pretty good time. Went to another spot the very next evening. Sure enough, a few does started to file onto the field, and now was the time to show off his shooting abilities. We had a pretty good rest, pretty good lean, and doe popped out and he was able to harvest her. That's exactly what we set out to do, and we were tickled to death that we accomplished the mission in mind, mission accomplished.
As Yapper would say, that worked out pretty good.
Well, he had a couple of doe tags and he also had a buck tag, so we decided to stay into the blind there and see if something else, another doe wouldn't pop out and maybe get a chance or an opportunity at another doe to fill his tag. Well, sure enough, this big old giant deer stepped out of the timber, out of the cedars there, and walked onto the field.
I swear he's either been shot or he's been gored or something. He's really acting strange. It looks like he's hunched over, yeah.
You could tell where this deer had been injured. I don't know if it was a car accident or another firearm injury from years past, but he was really having a difficult time getting his neck around and getting it straight, and even walking for that matter. It looked as though he was really struggling.
Get another shell. Where'd it go? Right in front of him. Put him down. Matt! Shoot. Good shot. That's exciting. I don't know if something was wrong with him or what, but when he first came out, both Dad and I thought he looked like he was walking funny. He looked kind of like he was hurt somehow, so we thought, he was a mature deer, and we thought if he presented the shot, that I'd go ahead and take him, and looks like we did that.
Well, it's the second weekend of the Missouri firearm season. Dad invited me up this weekend to hunt his farm, and it's just him and I this weekend. And we've had a blast. Last night we had a great encounter at the box blind. Just a giant deer with a split G2 came out. He kept giving us opportunities, but Dad thought that he was probably a 3-year-old deer. He looked young. He looked young in the face. Not much body weight to him, but he's going to be an absolute giant next year, and hopefully somebody has a chance at him. And that's the purpose of managing your farm, and hopefully it works out. But I'm happy we did. This guy came out tonight, and he is an absolute specimen. Very, very unique. He's got his velvet still on the one side. He's got a drop tine. Just a very neat buck, and he appeared to be injured, and we wanted to help him out, and it didn't look like he would maybe even make it through the winter. So he presented me with a great broadside shot, and I elected to take him. It's been about 9-10 years since you've seen me in this position last. It was on the original Dream Season tape, and it still feels great. I haven't hunted too much, but what I have been able to hunt, I've been very fortunate, and this weekend was no different. This has just been a great weekend. I've had a blast, and now it's time to get back into the studio Monday morning. Just a great deer.
Well, starting way back in August, I talked to Thome at Bluff Country Outfitters and asked him if Deb and I would be able to come down there and hunt. He invited us open arms to come down, and in August, Mark Wagner, myself, and his son Austin drove down together, and we got to drive around and get some velvet footage.
So far, so good. That was a pretty good video of 5 nice bucks in Buffalo County. So obviously, to say the least, drive 3 hours from Hayward and Rice Lake and get to see this. It's not bad to get out of that Northwoods, I'll tell you that.
Well, one other weekend we were down there, they had the big buck show down in Tell, Wisconsin.
Right now what they got going is a big buck show. What the deal is, they have bucks that have been shot in Buffalo County that have all scored over 150 inches or bigger. This is a buck right here Thome has the sheds of a buck they call Moses. This might be a buck that we get on this year. Who knows what could happen. It was just a great time. Met some really good friends, and you could tell it was getting closer and closer to season. Everyone there was pretty fired up, talking about stands, looking at trail cam pictures. we were fired up, ready to go.
In Wisconsin, in this zone, it's an earn a buck where you have to shoot a doe and then earn your buck sticker. Me being the good conservationist that I am, I got that done last year and harvested my doe, so I have 2 earn a buck tags for my lovely bride. Selfish, just after a big buck, didn't kill any does. She's got no buck tag for down in this area.
The reason I don't have my tags, last year I was always filming him, so I would be hunting today if he would have been a good husband, let me hunt last year, so he can keep talking all he wants.
Tom had us set up. We hung a stand over a biologic food plot and soybeans, and there was a water hole. Tom had made a water hole. So obviously anticipation was really high. We were waiting for that last 20 minutes of light. That's when it happens in early season. There was a 2-year-old and had half its rack busted off. Came right to the water hole, drank, gave us unbelievable shot opportunities, and it was just neat to see a buck like that. Believe me, in Hayward, it would have been all over for that buck. But down there, we're gonna let that deer go.
Well, it's the 3rd week in a row that we've been out hunting, and tonight's gonna be a full moon, so probably won't be such a great thing for the bucks to come in. So tonight, it's doe time. I just think that the Olson jinx is off. Oh, I feel shaky.
Well, the deer went like 30 yards, great blood trail.
It's about time you killed some does.
Yeah, Craig's just a little salty because I got the first deer this year.
I can't wait for you to get gutted.
Oh, me? Yeah. No, that's why we got married, for you to gut.
Didn't take us very long to find it. We did our hero interviews, and now I have Deb off my back. She got her doe harvested for the year, so she's pretty fired up.
No matter if it's a buck or a doe, it's always exciting.
Deb made a perfect shot, and maybe our jinx is off a little bit. It's a good start to our season.
Well, the second time Craig and I were down at Bluff Country Outfitters, we were set up on this field, and Craig put his decoy out. Oh, Craig thought it was just gonna be a great night.
Finally, we got some cool weather. Actually, in Hayward, we had like 3 inches of snow. We came down. Highs are in the 50s. It's a little bit windy, but these bucks are getting on their feet a little bit with this cold snap.
Oh, we got about, I don't know, 45 minutes of light left. We haven't seen anything, but let's see what happens. Devil buck just came out into the corn.
He came into the decoy. Deb said I could kill him. I couldn't get a shot. When I could kill him, Deb said she couldn't see him. Well, anyway, all of a sudden the wind switched, or I don't know if the stand squeaked or what happened. We got nabbed. He took off, ran away. No opportunity.
It was a pretty bum night, but it was still a cool encounter.
This tradition we started because we needed to come up with some sort of superstition. We haven't killed anything yet this year, and we've been hunting since September 15th, so what we figured we're gonna do is from now on, drive around with a bobblehead buck like this. Done. Lights out, TKO. So that's it, that's a bobble. There's no more bobbling after tonight. Only bobble he'll be doing is in the back of our truck.
Well, I couldn't wait to get back. Tom asked if I wanted to go back to that same spot, and I couldn't wait. It was just a perfect setup for that time of year with a decoy and calling.
Look, if he does not there at all. It's a good night, 30 degrees, and Deb and I will see if we can get after it. Deb is starting to whine a little bit. We've been hunting hard. Things are starting to get a little tense in the Olson household. I don't know, Deb's going a little bit crazy, so I better get something down in a hurry. Hopefully these deer are coming off these hills and coming out to feed on the corn and beans, and hopefully they see the decoy and I can call them in. This time, hopefully it's a 160.
Right, probably an hour before dark, and here comes a young 1.5-year-old, like 6-pointer, comes across the field, sees the decoy, comes running right to it.
Deb, do you hear that? Behind us, behind us. Big buck right here.
Deb's telling me kill it anytime, shoot it anytime she's on it. Well, here we go again. From my angle, there's a big bush in my way from a tree that's in front of me. I can't shoot. Deb, I got him. I can't believe we got it done. Finally, Bluff Country Outfitters, Thome and Lori Inderbro, thank you very much. Oh, I'm shaking like a leaf. You know, I obviously hit him high a little bit, but the arrow at such an angle, such a steep angle, came out right behind his shoulder. He fell down. I knew it was lights out for him. I was so proud when I drove into Bluff Country Outfitters. Hey.
You got her done.
Got it done finally.
Hey,
thanks, man.
It was just an amazing night, and finally it came together, and I couldn't be more proud of Craig.
Well, here it is the morning after. We're with Thome and Lori Inderbro, Bluff Country Outfitters, October 21st. And it seems like we've been at this forever already. Deb and I, since September 15th when Wisconsin season's open. Thome and Lori have been nothing but great to us. Bluff Country Outfitters has it going on, and this is my biggest video buck. And, you know, even more importantly, Deb and I got it done. This is the first buck that Deb was able to video me harvest on film, so it was a pretty emotional evening. So totally fired up, can't wait. Again, thanks to Thome and Lori at Bluff Country Outfitters, and we'll be back down here, and hopefully the season continues to go well, but totally fired up. Awesome hunt.
Again, I just want to thank Thome and Lori Inderbro, Bluff Country Outfitters. It's not just a hunting place to go anymore. They've become really good friends.
Finally, it all connected. He was able to harvest that really nice buck in Buffalo County. Then comes October 30th, and I have a doctor's appointment that morning. Acupuncture.
Is that what you got going?
No, but that's what I'd rather have done. We were hoping it wouldn't take very long so we could get out in the woods a little bit earlier and hunt. Everything's fine, everything's good. We're gonna go out hunting. Hey, and you know what? We got out of work a little bit earlier too. I'm not going back. We'll just call the boss and say I don't feel so well. My luck now, I'll kill something and I'll look like an idiot when I go to work tomorrow and tell them I killed something, so. Oh, long walk in. They have 2 stands, rapid rails, a bow, a camera. I hope I kill something because this really, really stinks.
This spring when we were walking around and I found this spot, one thing I liked was some old timer a long time ago probably shot a lot of big bucks out of this. This huge woods, thousands and thousands of acres, but right here there's a swamp on that side and a swamp on this side, and these deer really pinch down right here, as Reisner calls it, the skinny pinch.
We're hunting public land. We just set up our mare step tree stands. Just got up here. I am excited. Hopefully today's a good day. It's October 30th, and hopefully it's a good day. Tomorrow's Halloween, and I don't know, if I don't get one today, I guess no Halloween trick-or-treating for us tomorrow. to say he went down yet? Because his horns are not in my hand. We are hunting public land in Hayward, Wisconsin. Yes. Oh, I'm not joking. My hands are so sweaty. You had it on record, right? Today I wasn't at work. I was a little bit sick. I guess my sickness is cured.
I need to go to work.
That deer made us wait so long, but finally it all came together and Craig and I were able to do it together and it was amazing.
We tracked the deer maybe 40 yards and sure enough there's a deer and there is blood everywhere on the deer. I mean that rated broadhead absolutely is devastating.
It's amazing that we saw a deer this big on public land, especially with 2 people in the tree. Took a lot of work. We had to go out, had to hang our stands because it's illegal to leave your stands in overnight. So we had to make the whole setup, get set up in our stand, and around 4 o'clock, this guy came walking by. He offered me that perfect shot, and I was able to harvest him. And I think the Olson jinx is finally off. Pretty exciting day, and October 30th in Hayward, Wisconsin. Didn't think we were gonna have a chance, but here he is.
Killing deer like that on public land in big woods is not gonna happen every year. So when it does happen, we're gonna put big smiles on our faces and keep trucking away. So I couldn't be more proud of Deb, and we got it done.
After working hard all summer, putting up tree stands and John planting food plots, biologic everywhere, it was time to hunt.
She didn't go 30, 40 yards.
Early September, right out of the chute. Big deer.
Kill him, son. No, I never could get him to stop. What a deer. I'm shaking.
Nice deer. Good looking bucks all over the place, but none close enough to shoot. Next trip, I was moving in. I'm here for a month. Me and John, right off the bat, started hunting first night up.
What a beautiful day to be deer hunting. Got a northeast wind, which is perfect for this set. Right over my right shoulder here. We got about 3 acres of biologic maximum clover plus planted. This is the same stand that Dog and I had let a pretty nice buck walk under us the other night right here. This is only like second, third time we've hunted this stand, but it feels good and it looks good. Deer season has arrived.
Time went by and I'm thinking, okay, where's the deer? Then all of a sudden, here they came. 1 buck, another buck. They kept getting bigger. Then the next thing you know, it started getting dark and we both looked back and here came a nice deer. When John called me off, I was all right with it. We knew we'd get back in that set.
If you can't tell what today is, it's Halloween.
We're having fun, so anyway, let's go get them. think this will scare the deer.
We're in the stand that we had the encounter with a real nice buck the other night when it was too dark for me to shoot. I just wasn't comfortable with not seeing my sight pins as well as I'd like. Wind's hitting us right in the face. We're about 30 yards off a biologic maximum field. It looks good, it feels good. It's Halloween, it's time.
I just had a good feeling like it was going to happen. And, you know, had a parade of small bucks coming out, let them all go. And it was almost dark, Halloween evening, almost dark, just like it was 6 days earlier when we were in there before. And we heard footsteps coming in the leaves.
It's a good deer. Good deer. Bunt. I'm gonna go look for the arrow before it gets any darker. I'm shaking, and it's not because I'm cold.
Well, at that point, we discussed it. We got out of the tree, we came back to the cabin and reviewed the tape.
We're playing it back on the TV, playing the tape back to see. Bow!
After reviewing the tape, we knew that deer was down.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. He's up against that. Look. Holy moly.
Boy, when we walked up and looked at that deer, neither one of us knew he was that large. We knew he was a shooter, but we didn't expect no 12.160.
We harvested this Halloween buck last night right at dusk, about 30 yards off of a biologic maximum field. He was in a staging area. We had an encounter there 6 days ago with another nice buck, and it just got too dark to do anything with him. And Dog and I actually waited 6 days before we went back in this area, and the wind was perfect. We never got detected last night. We had deer all over us all evening. It was just a parade from like 3 o'clock on going out to eat supper in the biologic maximum. Dog and I were playing games with the Halloween mask last night, but I guess it worked. Dog and I have been hunting extremely hard, passing up a lot of small bucks out in the biologic, and this guy came in last night, and I'm an old guy and my knees were knocking. You know, when you can still get excited at 58 years old, you know, that's a good reason to go out and go deer hunting. As a grandfather, you know, I spent a lot of time with Zach, and I've had Zach shooting. He actually harvested his first deer with a rifle at 8 years old. He's been shooting a bow since he was old enough to pull a bow back. He got to a point that we thought he would be able to harvest a deer this year. We purchased him a Hoyt Rentec. He's in love with the Rentec, and so am I. You know, what a thrill for me to actually be sitting with Zach in a tree stand this year and watch him harvest his first deer. I just love to be with Zach and love to hunt with Zach, and you know, hopefully Zach can pass all this down to his kids and grandkids someday. Well, here we go again, on the way to pick up Zach and Ash, my grandchildren. It's the day before the 2006 youth season in Missouri. In my opinion, it's wonderful that Missouri has this youth season for these kids to give them a shot at the animals before, you know, everyone comes in to hunt. Zach shot the last couple of years, shot 130s with during the youth season. We'd like to do a little better than that if we can. We'll just sort of see what the footage is like and go from there.
Once we picked him up from school, as a ritual, we went back to John's house and it was time to shoot some pumpkins. Zach grabbed the OTC, and boy, did he drill the pumpkins.
You know, after the practice with the pumpkins, we got some pizzas and came on out to the cabin, and we actually were showing Zach some footage. This just so happened to be the World Series weekend, and what a better time to spend some quality time with your grandson than, you know, watching the deer videos, listening to the Cardinals ball game, and good quality time together.
Well, opening morning of youth season came around, me, John, and Zach hit the blind. Well, needless to say, it was one of those mornings where the deer weren't moving much.
Seen quite a few deer, but haven't seen as much as we thought we would. And it's about 11:30. We're about ready to go back, and hopefully we'll get it done tonight.
Well, we ran back to the cabin, had a quick bite to eat, and after lunch, it was me and Zach on our own. We're heading to one of our favorite biologic fields. It was hot. We were sweating. We were thirsty. We had one bottle of water, and guess who took it? Zach. Don't worry about the cameraman. Just let the hunter drink some water. Well, the sun started creeping down behind them trees, and the rack started coming out. And then the movie star stepped out. A heavyweight, a big mature whitetail.
That's a big deer right there. That's a pretty nice deer, Zach. You want to shoot him? Look at his belly.
You could just tell by his body posture, the way he went up to every other buck, pushed him off the field, that he was the man.
No, let's wait and see what he does. He's making us great. Okay, he's a big deer. We'll shoot him. Let him look towards us.
That's the bully, though.
No, we want that one right there, coming towards us. Now if he turns broadside, kill him. But wait a minute, let me know when you can kill him. Can you kill him? Can you kill him? Can you kill him? Now let me know when you're gonna kill him. Go.
2, 3. Nailed it. I hit him. Yes! Yes! Oh, baby! Yes! Oh, yeah! We thought we weren't gonna see any deer today. It changed really fast. It changed really fast. Here we are. It's October 28th. It's the first day of gun use season, and here I am with this big bad boy. This year is the first year I ever got to go bow hunting. I've killed my first bow deer as a big doe. This has just been an awesome year. This is one of my biggest bucks I've ever killed. In between 5:30 and 6, bucks started boiling out of this corner down here. We call it Turkey Point. This bad boy came out with a couple others, and he's the biggest one we've seen tonight, so I took him, and I think he's an excellent deer. I can't wait to go to Grandpa. He'll be so proud.
Well, what's the score? You got an awful big grin on your face.
Yep.
You do it? He did it? You little turkey boy. I didn't know if they were messing with me at first or not, but Zach hit pay dirt again and I actually harvested another real nice buck.
Look at the size of that old boy.
That's what youth season's about, man. Just to let these kids have a good time and enjoy what we've been hunting for years.
Yes! Yes!
You know, the accumulation of the stress from teaching little brother to shoot archery and run the camera, just thought I'd hop on the scooter and head north to see my buddy Russ. You know, other people that have tattoos can probably relate to what a tattoo means to a person. For me personally, it sort of is the marking of a new chapter. Adam definitely being that new chapter. A lot of times I take things a little too seriously, and what Adam brings to Team Frank is definitely a lighter side. He just lets me know, hey man, don't be so serious and have fun doing this. And you know, that really is what I've got from Adam this season, is he's really put the fun back in this for me. You know, just sharing that with your little brother, that's pretty cool. I just had high expectations and high hopes for Team Frank coming this fall.
You know, we had a lot of things going on this year. Adam was learning how to run the camera, and it was Jacob's first year really to be in a tree stand with a bow. Adam and I had been doing a little bit of hunting, and we had harvested a few does, and Jacob finally had an opportunity to take to the tree stand.
We finished our last game last night. We beat a team that we thought was pretty good, 40-20. So tonight we're getting a day off. We've got wind in our favor, but since we haven't had rain in about a week, we should be able to catch them going to the pond, and hopefully I can drill one with my bow.
Jacob and I had set a pretty uneventful evening. We probably were climbing down a little too early, but I wanted him to be able to see the tree spikes as he was climbing down, so I reached down to undo his safety belt, and something caught my eye down the trail. You know, as soon as he released that arrow, I could tell it wasn't a steady shot. Right over the top. My heart sank. I knew this was an opportunity that a young man like him was gonna live to regret.
I've got buck fever. I've got buck fever so bad. I'm shaking all over. That's the biggest buck I've ever seen out here.
Hopefully, little brother Adam and I, you know, can capitalize on Jake's missed opportunity.
It's Saturday, October 28th. Today is opening season of pheasant. So we're looking at our sheet of tree stands and we're trying to figure out which one would be the best. So hopefully we got some pheasant hunters out and hopefully they push deer to our direction. It's my turn to get back up into the tree stand with the bow in my hand. I hope it's time for me to put a rage broadhead right through the heart. The morning went by pretty uneventful, and the boring afternoon, you know, was broken up by a hot doe running through. And hard on her heels was a 3.5-year-old buck. And this doe jumped over the track and went into the ditch on the other side. So he picked up her scent and went down the ditch after her. Nothing really I want to shoot at, so just still gotta sit tight and wait for a little bit bigger one to come through. A couple hours passed and We were waiting there for, you know, some more deer to come by. I didn't really care if it was a buck or a doe. I just wanted to get off that goose egg. And then that's when it happened. I thought I heard footsteps, so I looked where I thought it came from. There he was, right underneath the canopy, right where I heard that original sound.
Give me some love, dude.
Wow. Dude, you just came in, man.
One for the old man, huh?
Oh, yeah. All that practice paid off.
Seeing that deer run off, those fletchings hanging out, I just knew that that deer was going to be down. And even though we made a good shot on it, we headed home, we got some buddies, you know, I was just excited at the fact that my first deer ever happened to be a 162-inch giant. All the hard work putting in tree stands and cutting shooting lanes and food plots and checking trail cameras and all this different stuff just all paid off on that big buck. John told me that hunting an opening day of pheasant season was good, but didn't know it was going to be this good. Just really fortunate that we even have this opportunity. Our father died this last December. All the siblings got reunited at his funeral, so it was a tough time, but yet it was still gratifying. Got to be back with our family. So it took us only about 10 minutes to come in and find this thing. So we found the blood trail at about 10 yards, tracked about 65, and walked right up on it. I mean, just amazing buck right here. All the trips down from Des Moines are well worth it now. Now that this is, you know, all said and done, I'm just thrilled that I could perform for my brother and just bring to head what the Frank brothers bring to the table. So it's time for him to bring home a big buck and see if he can outmatch the little brother. Best of luck to him, but 162-inch deer is a tough act to follow.
You know, never in my wildest dreams did I think little brother Adam would kill a 162-incher basically the first night out. You know, typically one big buck dies in camp every year, and I was really hoping that, you know, Adam's buck wasn't the only one that was going to go down.
Short distance from the stand, northwest wind tonight. Going into a spot we call the missing peg stand. My son couldn't get into this because there was a couple of missing pegs, and so in turn we hunted another stand on this farm, and that was the night he got a shot at that 170-inch deer. So let's slide into the stand and see if we can't outdo brother Adam.
You know, it was Halloween day. That northwest wind was scheduled to arrive about 12:30. We knew if we were in the stand, we should get good deer movement. The afternoon passed and we had seen several deer, and then the 3.5-year-old showed up. Really neat buck, not really the buck that I was looking to harvest on a managed farm. He had some neat characteristics that kind of went off the inside of his rack. Really neat buck, a buck with some potential. And we were admiring this deer, and I got a glimpse of horns coming.
I guarantee you that's bigger than Adam's deer, and that is an absolute bone-crushing giant, and I just smoked him at 30 yards. It's been a while since Big Frank's drew back on a deer of that caliber, but my boy did it 2 weeks ago. My brother did it a couple days ago. And now we just made it a threesome right there. Boom, boom, boom. It's been probably 40 minutes. The sun's actually set on us. I didn't hear him crash through the bottom, and I didn't see him go up the other side. My experience with these rage broadheads are 55, 60 yards. You got a dead deer.
You know, we climbed down and we recovered the arrow, but I just didn't feel good about the hit. I want to leave this buck overnight. Sun's just coming up on the 1st of November. Looked at the footage, feeling pretty confident. A liver hit definitely will kill a deer. You just need to give him a little time. We're just gonna creep through there and hopefully we spot him laying dead. Ought to be a good track job. Them rage broadheads leave a good trail. I was following blood and I stopped. I thought I saw a glint of horn. Immediately the Nikons went up. There's my buck right there. You know, over the last several years, the difference between actually harvesting bucks and having encounters with big bucks is my mind isn't in the kill zone. My mind is, are they running the camera the right way? And I had to absolutely release that this year and just have faith that if it was meant to happen, it's gonna happen. I shot this out of the stand that I tried to take Jacob to the night that he had the encounter with his big buck. So it's just sort of bragging rights for Dad that Dad's big buck came out of the stand he wanted to take his boy to. We had deer on their feet going to the corn. We knew that, you know, these deer funnel out of there pretty regular, and there was some pretty good buck sign right along the top of that ridge. Just can't really describe the feeling I had when I seen this guy coming. I made the shot through about a bowling ball sized hole. I actually shot him a little bit back. You know, we left him over 12 hours. We left him almost 14 hours. And sure enough, you know, the adage is true, when in doubt, back out. And we came in this morning, followed the blood trail right to him. If we'd have tracked him last night, he'd have definitely kept running. This is my best buck, my best archery buck. Couldn't think of a better way to, you know, end an archery season.
Well, it's a little windy, as you can probably tell, but one of the things I like to do when I travel is make sure the Hoyt Tricon's shooting like it needs to be. So far it's been working out great. I'm gonna shoot a couple more arrows and I'll be ready for my hunt tomorrow. This hunt started back this summer when Mark Drury called me and told me that Michelle and Stacy Ward had invited us down to Hadley Creek to hunt whitetails in Illinois during the rut. That was an offer I just couldn't refuse. Dave and I are fortunate the fact that we get to travel all over North America and, you know, hunt some great places, but I have to tell you that, you know, with the quality of your deer herd and the accommodations and just the people, this is, you know, one of the best places I've ever been. This is incredible.
Well, I appreciate that. It means a lot.
Ready?
Yep.
Stacy's got us, he's got us set up in a ground blind this afternoon. He says it's in the spot, within the spot. I mean, he's seen big deer going to a strip of beans and a strip of biologic that is out on this ridge top, and we're gonna be just off of it. He's gonna run us in on a bad boy buggy, nice and quiet, get us in there. We'll get in the blind and we'll sit there the rest of the afternoon. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about this afternoon. I think it's gonna be a good hunt. I'm not typically a huge fan of ground blind bow hunt whitetails, but it's cool when it works, that's for sure. I didn't have to worry about falling out of this stand. I could get real comfortable, lay down a little bit, tip the cap over the eyes, and let John do the looking for a while.
Well, we hadn't been in the blind very long, and Dave decided to go to his customary napping. And when we saw the first deer, it was time to wake Dave up and get into action.
This is gonna be fun, because it's plenty early yet. That's one thing I will say about Hadley Creek Outfitters. You're gonna see deer. This area is very, very much loaded with whitetails. We saw a lot of nice deer out of that ground blind. One really in particular, a great looking 8-pointer. You know, I just thought as a deer that should have one more year or two to go, but he put on a show for us right in front of that blind.
Dave and I thought he was probably 3.5 years old, but we decided to go ahead and give him one more year. He'll be a stellar buck next year. And it was just awesome to be in that blind. And I knew with all the deer that were at Hadley Creek, if we stuck with it, we'd probably get on a big one. Well, it's the third morning of our hunt here at Hadley Creek. We're here with Jared. He's got a spot picked out for us this morning that's been really hot and quite a bit of deer activity. He was gracious enough yesterday to skip lunch and go in and hang a set for us. So we're gonna get in there. We're probably gonna sit all day. It's October 29th. We haven't really seen a lot of signs of what happened yet, but it's gotta kick in any day. So we're gonna be diligent, sit there all day and see what happens.
We snuck in here early this morning, and it's about 30 degrees. We got turkeys and deer all around us. They've been seeing some really nice bucks on this little food plot right here. The deer have eaten it down to nothing. So we're gonna sit here all day. Hopefully we'll have some luck. This is an awesome morning. It's an awesome morning to be out here.
The morning was just incredible. It was a high pressure system. We saw a bunch of turkeys. Unfortunately, we only saw one 3.5-year-old buck. He was a borderline shooter and we couldn't get him to come into range anyway, but I was just enjoying the hunt and enjoying the morning. So a couple hours before dark, I finally told Dave, you know, here comes some deer.
Oh, there goes another buck right there, Dave. You got him. There's bucks coming from everywhere. Deer in the field that are bigger, but he came aggressive and he ran in. I mean, like on a string. He's definitely a mature deer. I want to say he's probably a 130-inch deer, but yeah. Give me 5, buddy.
You know, I was fortunate to make a good shot on the deer. I knew he was going to go down. I put the arrow right behind his shoulder, and I knew it was just a matter of time before I'd have my hands on my first Illinois whitetail.
Oh, yeah, he's spraying all through there. You should have went much farther. Blood all over the place.
There he is, man.
There he is. Yes.
Congratulations, buddy.
That's awesome. Who's that, man?
Well, here he is. Unfortunately for me, this buck didn't take long to recover. I'm a guest here of Stacy and Michelle Ward, Hadley Creek Outfitters, and I'll tell you what, this place is hard to beat with the guides and the quality and number of whitetails they have. It's really unsurpassed. Dave and I hunted a field tonight, and there was more deer sign than any place I've ever seen, and all the places I've whitetail hunted my whole entire lifetime. And you know, this deer is really very representative of what you know, Stacy would like his hunters to harvest. This and on up. It's a 3.5-year-old in the 130s. And you know, the really impressive thing about this deer is his body size. He was the largest body deer out in the field. There were actually a couple other 3.5s that had a better rack, but this deer was definitely the most aggressive. We hit the horns one time, and he just came running in, and I couldn't pass him up. It's my first Illinois whitetail ever, and this is a hunt that I'll never forget. What an incredible hunt, incredible deer.
Well, it's 60 degrees, 62 actually, I think. So what do? You know, we're trying to hang with it, hunting south winds day after day, and we're gonna go. We built a little ground blind because we've had so many south winds. Deer are coming out to the bean field, but you know, I'm not that encouraged. I'll tell you that. It just doesn't seem like the big boys are playing until dark, and it maybe wasn't meant for me this year. But we have to try. Can't give up. Well, you know, it's been unseasonably warm this late season. You know, trying to get my muzzleloader tag filled, and I had a lot of good encounters, but a lot of them John and I just felt were younger bucks. You know, we saw a nice 8-pointer. You know, good buck, just, you know, needs a year or two to grow. We saw what we're nicknaming another fork G2 buck. John and I went back and forth on this one. We saw him several times, and you know, it was one of those, I just thought he was probably a 3.5-year-old. And we're trying to let that one live, you know, at least another year, and maybe get him next year. So, you know, I had a lot of good buck encounters, just not the one we were looking for. Well, we should be in that blind if everything was perfect, but it's not. And there's 2 reasons we're over here. A, the wind direction. South to southwest wind blows right across this whole bean field that we're hunting from that blind. It's kind of made for north, northwest, northeast. And secondly, all the deer activity has been in this little corner pocket right here. All the good deer we've seen. So we've concocted a blind. We're right in this corner. We should be in the hot spot if deer show up tonight. It is getting a little warmer today than it has been the previous week. But I don't necessarily mind that. I've seen a lot of good deer movement on warmer days in late, you know, December. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully John and I will have some good buck tonight. Oh, stop. 2.5-year-old grass. You know, with seeing at least some good movement, even though it was incredibly warm this late season, you know, I still had some optimism that something good could happen. So John and I decided to break our luck. We took little Jacob Odell with us, John's son. Hey, tell me what you're looking at. Are you looking for deer? Oh, you're looking at me.
Well, I can tell you the hunt started off awesome. We first got in the blind, and I think Jacob and Dave were a little confused on whether they were hunting bugs or bucks.
What do you see?
Whatever that is, I don't know.
Yeah, I see it too.
Good job. Tiny.
Good job. Are we gonna see a buck tonight?
I already did see one.
You already saw one?
Yeah, it was going all the way to the top.
I mean a buck. Are we gonna see a bucker?
I already did see one go up.
Okay.
It was right there.
Not a bug, a buck. A deer. Are we gonna see a deer?
He was doing a great job pointing out the bugs, but we finally got him squared away, and he was going to help us look for bucks.
What's Uncle Dave doing?
Cleaning the windows.
Do you think he's gonna see a deer tonight? Yeah. Is this your first time deer hunting ever? Yeah. All right, well, tell me when you see one. He's got good 2s and 3s. He's got a 4th on the one side.
So as the night progressed, we saw one of those borderline type deer. It was a really nice buck, probably 140-inch 10-pointer. But I guess, you know, my son's a lot like me. He told Dave to shoot that deer at least a dozen times.
Dave, shoot him.
I'm tired of sitting in this blind this year. No, but I'm saying he's actually...
Dave.
He's pretty good.
Dave, why aren't you gonna shoot him?
He's at least 4.5.
Dave, why aren't you gonna shoot him?
Shh, Jacob, you gotta be quiet, buddy.
He was definitely in the moment. He was excited to see that buck. He actually named the buck Grand Finale. So hopefully we'll get some more video of Grand Finale next year as a 4.5-year-old. But it was a great deer, great encounter, awesome experience with my son on his very first deer hunt. You know, we were getting bugs and bucks mixed up, and we didn't know which one we were looking for half the time. But Jacob was just a breath of fresh air that we needed.
We're getting in about perfect time. It's 3 o'clock. Later than we normally get in, but we didn't spook any deer off the field, so we feel pretty confident about that. Sun broke out today, high pressure, moved in. I can't imagine deer not moving today, so I really think today's the day. I think it's gonna happen for me tonight. I've had some great encounters. I've passed on some deer that I think some years I would have went ahead and elected to take, but hopefully that all pays off tonight. So either that or my standards might go down tonight, one or the other. There's a good one coming in from the back. Right along the fence, John. He's 175 all the way back there. That's a big one. He went behind that corn though before we could do anything. He's a little far out there, but then we're hoping he comes in closer. Jesus, he's nice. There he is. The shot definitely surprised me. That's the buck we've been waiting for right there. Finally, after all the encounters and all the bucks I've passed, and John complaining the whole way, I finally get one like that. And he came out, and then he went into the standing corn. And we're like, that's it. Once he gets there, you're done. Well, he stepped back out, and I think I just harvested one of my best bucks ever. Yeah.
Hey, Dave. Right there, buddy.
Yeah. Well, here he is. What an awesome buck. He is just huge. He's definitely one of my biggest deer, and you know, this is definitely a hunt that had a lot of shortcomings up until today. You know, the weather has just been horrible. It's been 50s every other day. It's been rainy, it's been drizzly, warm, muddy, no frost in the ground. There's no reason for big deer to be on their feet. You know, a couple days ago, we took his son, Jacob, in the stand with us, and, you know, that was just a shot of enthusiasm I think that John and I needed to get back out here, because, you know, we were kind of worn down. It's a long season when you start October 1, and plus when you know, you do game hunts before that, and, you know, Jacob, we were having a discussion about bugs and bucks, and couldn't figure out which one we were talking about. You know, it was just nice to have that fresh, young enthusiasm out in the stand with you. And so John and I, this is our very next hunt after having Jacob with us. And, you know, I passed on a lot of good deer this year, but this is definitely worth it right here. When you get one of these in front of you, definitely a mature deer that's just a monster, mass, height, beam length. He's got it all. He's, you know, like I said, he's one of my best deer ever. What an awesome buck.
You know, it's mid-October. The season is upon us, but it's not the deer season I'm talking about. It's the Cardinals postseason.
Well, the sun's setting. As always, it's beautiful. Normally, I'm in a tree stand. Tonight, I replaced my tree stand for this view. Tracy, for my birthday, got me this present, so we're taking a little time off from hunting. Terry's still out there, but tonight we're going to go watch the Cardinals.
No way I'm going to miss this. Plenty of deer season ahead. Let's see how these redbirds can do.
We're having fun at the World Series. Tomorrow we're going hunting with Taylor.
Congratulations to the St. Louis Cardinals, world champions. My life is pretty much complete. Now we can press play again. The deer season's back on, and Taylor is up to bat.
Well, it's Missouri youth season, and my dad and I are driving down to Kirksville, and we're gonna go try to shoot my gun at some of John Williams' pumpkins. And then we're gonna go to Uncle Terry's, my uncle. Terry is actually right now in Illinois with Jim Thome.
Well, you did good there, but you'll never hit that little yellow one.
Oh, really?
I don't think you will.
I bet I can.
I'll bet you
You wanna
can't.
bet me?
I'll bet you can't.
How much?
The dishes tonight?
If I don't hit it, we're using paper plates. How many tries? One? Okay.
Hope you got plenty of time to do all the dishes.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna have a salad. I'm gonna have dessert, probably 2 different
You better
courses.
be quiet. You ready?
Yes.
I blew it up. You're doing the dishes tonight.
But it had to stay on top. You had
No.
to.
You're just making excuses now.
Well, it's Missouri youth season. We're in a blind down here. And all of us are so excited. We're all sitting here. And the funny thing about this blind is, this is the blind that I shot my first buck in. So maybe the luck is still going on from 2 years ago.
That first evening was so calm, so still. Everything was moving. We had a couple buck sparring, and then the deer we were looking for.
Do you want her to get her gun up?
Definitely shoot. Yes, it's
We were still the whole entire time.
You know what else was still? Everything. There was no wind or anything.
So I'm more aware of what's going on.
They're just ultra aware.
When I was getting my gun, everything had it set up, and I was like, Dad, I can't get it.
I just want you to get it.
If I would have gone like that, they would have ran.
You can get it up slowly.
That's the way it had to be.
I'm just glad that Taylor has to do the dishes tonight.
Tonight we have to use all glass, and we had to make
I also said you cannot spook any deer.
And he never said that. So tonight you have to make the biggest meal you've ever made with as much silverware and plates.
Paper plates. I don't see any dishes. Bottle of water, paper. Oh, you can't wash that yet. Uh-oh.
You have a pot
We got a pot to clean.
and forks.
Look at there. Spick and span, nice and clean, just like Terry likes it. Terry, be proud of me. We were so close, Taylor. Now all we got is to clean dishes. But we're not going to give up. We're going to keep hammering, and we will succeed. How many times you see me do the dishes? Once.
Once a year, maybe?
That's the one.
This will be the one to shoot the huge buck. And we'll kill it the first time.
You know, these box blinds sit idle all year. When you get there, you never know what you're gonna run into. It was a ladybug invasion. They were on the windows, they were on the walls, they were flying around the box. Everywhere you looked, there they were.
I got a ladybug in my ear. It's going inside your ear.
They were bugging us just a little bit. Finally, the sun starts to set and a beautiful buck makes his appearance known. That buck had disappeared. Would he reappear? He doesn't show up, but about an hour later in the same field, here comes the deer we had been waiting for.
Oh yeah, that was a shooter. Wait till it turns broadside.
Tell me when.
Not yet. Okay, you ready? Back!
Did I get him?
Oh yeah.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Are you sure I got him?
Oh yeah, he jumped like you got him.
Oh my God. We've been waiting forever. Finally, a huge buck watched out and I got it and I'm so excited. I can't even talk. It's so big.
He was huge.
He's huge.
Give me 5.
That's blood. Whoa, he's huge. Look where he fell.
Oh, I see that. Jump, Ted, jump.
Wow,
he's a big deer.
Oh my God, he's fat.
Good job.
Thank
Congratulations.
you. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. Good shot.
Oh, it's just, I love this feeling. I don't know why, it just hits me good. Tonight we come out and we didn't see anything for a while, and then this thing comes out and we all knew that this was the one that was gonna have to die. We just knew it.
And die he did.
Yes.
I'm so pumped for you.
It's huge.
Would you do the dishes tonight?
I don't know. There might be too much celebrating going on.
if I got him and get him out of here for you, out of this ditch, would you do the dishes?
I might have to do that. Thanks out to my Uncle Terry for letting me use his farm again.
You know what? I don't think Uncle Terry minds at all. Oh, congratulations, babe. Give me a hug. Oh, I'm so proud of you. Good job.
Thank you for taking me.
Oh, thanks to Mom. She's back there running the camera right now. We sure enjoy it, don't we?
Well, I'm happy for Taylor. I couldn't be more elated. I wish I could have been there to share it with her. We're over here with Jim Thome. The deer here in Illinois aren't moving real well, but Jim has an answer for everything.
I call that the harvest dance. Just get up on one. Left, right, yeah. Get up.
for you.
Sure enough, the harvest dance worked. Taylor gives us a call, and I couldn't have been happier.
You had bugs in your noses? That tickles. Oh, I'm glad you killed one, Taylor. Congratulations. That's 3 years in a row, man. She's all over it. Taylor's really doing well with that. And I am totally not knowing where I'm at here.
So that ends another beautiful hunt at Terry's farm. I asked Terry if he knew the deer. I described him to him. This wide buck, fork G1, triple G1 on one side, and he said, yes, I've got all kinds of wildlife eye footage of that particular buck. He's one of the most known bucks on the farm, and now he's gonna hang on our wall. Thanks again, Brother Terry. It was another monumental and beautiful hunt in northern Missouri, and we couldn't have done it without your farm. Over the last few years, deer hunting has been redefined for myself. And it's a new chapter for myself in that I get to spend some time with Taylor. We have a bond between the two of us, or a pact, that we're never going to miss a deer season. And we try to spend every single second we can together in the deer woods. And at the end of the day, it's not necessarily what you remember about a certain buck or a certain event. It's more about the times that you share, the fun that you have while you're out there deer hunting. Whether that's wild times on a bad boy buggy,
It's your trip of a lifetime.
or falling asleep in the blind in the middle of the day while Terry's sitting there waiting for a doe.
Look at her face. She's got bag marks.
I was tired.
One of the things I'll remember most is Taylor gutting her first deer.
Dad, this is cool.
Hey, no one in the weeds. I love it. These are the times that this dad will cherish forever. We had so much fun this season. She's back to school, the Iowa late season is here, and Jared and I are up to bat in Iowa.
It's opening day of the late season muzzleloader. It doesn't feel like opening day. We've been hunting these suckers hard since early September up in Alberta. Now we're in Iowa again, late season muzzleloader. It's my favorite time of the year. I absolutely love hunting right now. High pressure is here. Ought to see some deer moving tonight.
As we go into this season, I have one buck on my mind. It's a deer that I've known the last few years. He's a big, wide 8-point. We first saw him at age 3.5. Terry and I had an encounter with him. Then I had an encounter with him. Big, wide 8-point.
He just wouldn't work the decoy.
He goes into the following year. He's 4.5 years old. I only saw him 2 times that year. One time in late November, he was out in front of us, he bred a doe.
That was awesome. Made the whole evening worthwhile to see him top that doe.
Then in the late muzzleloader season, January the 9th to be exact, he walked onto a field and I couldn't believe how wide, how big and beautiful this particular buck was. But another deer that was a little bit bigger presented me a shot.
That puts an end to the season.
Now we're going into this season. He's 5.5 years old. I can't wait to get wildlife eye of this deer. I can't wait to see what he's developed into. Those first few clips of the year, I got some fantastic footage of this big, wide 8-point. He's so massive, so wide. He's the type deer that you just dream about. What a beautiful deer, and I can't wait to see if we can get a crack at this guy in the late season. We're sitting there, all of a sudden Jared says, big 10-point coming over the hill. Wow. Now it's decision time. Do I take a shot or do I wait for the deer that I'd committed to? This deer is huge. In our estimation, this deer would probably grow Spoon and Crockett. The deer's broadside, he's 80 yards, decision time. Field finally clears, and I'm kind of glad it did. I really want to get a crack at that big 8-point. I may regret that decision, but there's a long season ahead of us. You know, when you get into late season hunting, it is so weather dependent. I mean, we are slaves to that computer and to the weather channel. We've got to see the next cold front. We've got to monitor those wind directions. I'm finally getting the winds I want, and it's accompanied by rain. It's cold, it's wet. I've got a ground blind I could go to, but I've also got a box blind. I'm with Jared. I'm also with Jason, who is Jared's brother. So here I have 2 of my nephews in the blind with me. Hopefully we can have some luck.
We use these box blinds for a couple different occasions. 1, to scout from a distance, and 2, when it's rainy and nasty outside, we're dry and toasty on the inside. I set up a bow blind over the edge of that cornfield. But with this rain coming down like it is, I'm glad we're in here. We're dry, comfortable. This is the way to hunt when the conditions are like this.
got in the blind. Jason spotted 3 of them back there. That's a good sign, Jason, because they're moving. We didn't know with this rain, we didn't know if they were going to move or not. We weren't sure if they were going to move or not, but obviously they are. Now we got to settle back and not move because we got some silhouette action in here. Oh, dear. That's a nice buck right there, Jason. Is that the biggest buck you've ever seen? Oh, yeah. The thing's huge. Look there, look at it. Oh, there you go. What? That's bully, that's bully. I'm killing him, Jared.
Okay, I see why. Kill him. Well,
not yet. He's quartering. Bet. Bet. Bet.
Kill him. Oh, wow.
He went down right there. It's usually not a good sign when it's a muzzle wire. That ends a great story with a big, big buck. Oh, I'm pumped. That's the deer I wanted to see. That's the deer I wanted to see.
You know, this feeling never gets old. We call it dream season for a reason. It has been an amazing season. So much fun with the bow, so many different encounters. Of course, I always love hunting with Taylor. And I never mind doing this. Oh boy, it's huge. We love these whitetails. I mean, we're passionate about it. We go out, we chase them at every chance we can, regardless of the weather, regardless of the time, regardless of the condition. We love being out here, but more importantly, we love sharing it with family, friends, and ultimately our viewers. Tonight was special because I was with Jared, who I'm normally with in the late season, but tonight Jason came up. First time I ever got to hunt with my nephew Jason. Just the 3 of us out here having a good time. We had cameras rolling at every angle in that blind.
We got some cameras rolling now, boys.
Have fun editing this one, guys.
Trying to lay it down right, and look who shows up, but this gigantic 5.5-year-old buck with unbelievable bases. I mean, they are as massive as any base I think I've ever seen. Just a big, beautiful 8-point buck. And it just ended a fantastic season. I filmed Taylor kill a beautifully wide buck on Terry's farm earlier this year, and here I am on December the 20th on this rainy day behind one of the best deer I've seen all year. Look at that sucker. He is just a giant. He's what we live for. He's what we dream about all year. And tonight, our dreams came true. Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Jason. I loved it.
Well, opening day of shotgun season is always an exciting time. We have some friends come in. Well, this year was no exception because Keith decided that he was going to let his son Adam come up and hunt. He was going to film him, so I was going to have a chance to go with Dad, which is something I never get tired of doing.
Adam was getting excited about going up because Rod had told him that he could harvest a big buck this year if he had the opportunity. What's tomorrow?
Tomorrow is opening day of Illinois shotgun season.
The day before first shotgun season, you know, that morning I had to take Adam to school, and I knew it was going to be the longest day of school he ever experienced.
Well, it's time to get Adam up for school this morning. You're about to get a first-hand look at what me and my wife Susie go through every morning getting him out of bed. It's usually not a pretty sight. We'll try it out here this morning. You gonna get him to go to school? Just think, when you get home season, we get to go hunting. Are you crabby? Come on.
No, get out of here with that kid.
Like I said, he's always a joy in the morning.
All right, buddy. I will pick you up this evening after I get off work, okay? Be good in school today. And I had told him that, you know, when I got home from work that evening and he was home from school, we'd pack up and we'd head that way. We're heading up to Illinois this evening here. Try to get up here before dark. He wants to shoot the muzzle loader, make sure it's shooting good and everything. So pretty excited about getting up here, and so am I. So we're gonna get up here and get everything ready and get going.
Well, we're finally here. It seemed like it took forever, but well, finally made it.
Tell you what, that's one thing about my son Adam. He's a man of few words, but I tell you what, he gets pretty darn excited about this stuff. He just doesn't talk a lot. Pretty snazzy.
Oh, I think she's ready.
You hit it good. Good job. Good shooting, buddy. I think you're ready to go tomorrow. It was dead out. He shot the target and it wasn't but a ½ inch low, so he was fired up and ready to go.
Come on, time to get up, go hunting.
First morning of shotgun season. My son Adam's up to bat here this morning, so got a perfect wind for our box blind we've been wanting to go to. So been seeing some nice deer in that area. Hopefully one shows up this morning. I know he's excited and I'm pretty darned excited too. So hopefully things will pan out for us. We had to sit there for a while in the dark, but that was fine. As it got daylight, we started seeing a few does and small bucks wandering around. And then all of a sudden, a nice 2-year-old buck started chasing a doe right down through the field towards our box blind.
Well, that was pretty exciting. We just seen a pretty good buck chase after a doe right here to our left. I can see a deer's back over there. Good buck, good buck.
Let's see if we can get him. Just take your time, buddy. He's out there a little ways yet, okay? Okay. Stay calm.
Oh man, I can't believe that worked. And we didn't think he was gonna come in this morning, but he came in, walked out about 100 yards, shot. I know I hit him good, but through all the smoke, I couldn't really tell. But I think we got him, and I'm pretty happy right now.
Give me 5, buddy. I think we got him. I couldn't tell because of all the smoke and stuff. But he ran off the hill. It looked like he hit him good. We might have to go back and just look at it on TV. You fired up? Yeah. I'm fired up, man. That is awesome. I'm so proud of you. I knew this morning could be good.
So we elected to go back to the cabin and watch the kill on the TV where we could get a better look at it. We didn't want to go tromping in there after the deer if he didn't put a good hit on it.
It's been a slow morning so far.
Well, the morning started out kind of slow. We didn't have much action, and then we had a doe come running in the field, and that's always a good sign.
Maybe this would be a start. Two does and there's a buck right behind it. Yeah, I think this is you. Okay, where's he at? I got him.
Let me take a look. I think it's only 5 after 7. And that's practically our first deer. We just seen two. I seen 2 yearlings running over there, does, and all of a sudden this buck come popping out right behind her. Never gave us much time at all. I took a shot at her about maybe a little over 100 yards. And I think I hit him pretty good because he ran off like he was all hunched up, so. The old horse of pounding, I tell you, this happened so fast, though. He looked like he was a pretty nice buck, though. A slow morning turned up to be a pretty good morning.
Dad put a fantastic shot on this deer for the distance, and the deer takes off. I can tell it was a great hit, and he doesn't even make it 40 yards, folds up in the field, and my dad just had a big sigh of relief.
Well, there he is right there, laying at the edge of the woods in there. Well, I'll be darned.
I'm not even going to attempt this. I said, we're going to go back and get the boys to get this thing out of here.
I hear you kill one, Pop.
Oh, Daddy, you ain't going to believe that.
Really? Congratulations.
You didn't happen too fast up there.
That's awesome. That is great. Adam shot one.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You got him down?
We weren't sure about the hit, so we came back and watched it on TV, and he smoked him.
Well, great. Well,
it's a great hit.
Maybe we got 2 of them to pick up.
It's the one you had the encounter with over here.
Adam went out and filmed my dad bow hunt, and they had a great encounter with this same 10-pointer that Adam harvested 1 week later in the gun season. Everything just came full circle. Dad scored, Adam scored, Keith and I were excited to say the least.
Why don't you say we go get your big bad boy out, Pop?
I'm ready.
We'll take it from here. What a beautiful deer.
I think he's kind of a...
Wow.
I've got a kicker that goes out that's a...
Yeah. We got one in the cooler. Hopefully there's 2 in there in just a little bit. Let's go look for Adam's deer.
I'm sure we're going to find
him.
It was just neat, all loading up. It was Keith and his son, Adam, and me and Dad, us 4, going to get Adam's biggest buck that he's ever harvested out of the woods. And that's what deer hunting's all about. It was a really special moment.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's better than I even thought he was.
Give me a hug. Oh, son.
Oh, Adam, big guy.
Oh, man.
Dad and Adam had really hit it off this year. The oldest guy in camp, the youngest guy in camp. And they both killed a deer not 30 minutes apart on opening day of shotgun season.
You know, I can't say enough from my great friend Rod Wilson. I mean, just giving Adam and I the opportunity to come up here and hunt just such a beautiful farm and to experience the feelings we have every time we harvest a great deer. I mean, I am just forever indebted, because that morning sitting in the box blind with my son Adam and seeing the excitement and the thrill in his eyes, it's just something I can never repay Rod for. I always will be indebted to him.
Those whitetails, whether it be bucks or does, they're in trouble. I've got a quiver full of arrows, headed to Iowa, gonna spend 2 weeks. I've got 2 weeks of vacation. Brother Justin's on his way up to film. It should be a lot of fun. The whitetails just aren't cruising yet like we thought they would be with this rising moon. So every doe that gets within bow range.
Deer in lockdown mode right now, so we came back to the food source. We're hoping to get down this way. Maybe a hot doe will bring a buck with him. That's number 3, right? Actually, that's number 4. The bucks aren't moving, but the does are.
In her last gasp or breath for air, she does what I call a death ball. It almost emulates what a buck sounds like when he's in the rut and growling, and the bucks came out of the woodwork. And that was a very important lesson to learn. They're in the stage where growling and bleating seems to be working, so I'm gonna give them heck and growl and bleat my tail off.
You know, there's a song by Travis Tritt. It's a great day to be alive. In days like this with a gorgeous sunrise, November the 5th, it's what we wait all year for.
I've done a growling and heat bleeding sequence, and all of a sudden I hear a deer stand up like out of its bed.
Bap, bap.
I had zero angle. I wasn't going to shoot him in the spine. It's a terrible angle. I've never had a deer that big right underneath me, and I'm not going to shoot him in the spine. I'm just sick. I'm absolutely sick.
You go from that emotional high to the deer's charging at your tree, and we've got him meeting the freezer, to him escaping unscathed. I'll never have an encounter like that ever again.
We've got wildlife eye of him from last year in 05, this year in 06, and now we got an up close and personal encounter. And I'm just...
These whitetails will humble you. We're gonna be back after them. We had that big whitetail right underneath us. Couldn't get the deal closed, and I think Justin's just a little bit tired of hunting.
What's going on over there?
Oh, he had me sit out here all day. Could have shot the big one this morning. Get a little tired of it.
I don't think Justin's as passionate a whitetail hunter as I am just yet. Where's my muzzleloader when I need it? He's 198.
200 yards away, we've got a deer I call Mr. T because he deserves the name fitting because he is one of the largest 10-pointers you're ever going to see.
November the 5th, 2006 will go down in my history books as a day I will never forget. I had that close encounter of the unfortunate kind with that giant 10-pointer, the deer I call the former 4G2 buck. And then the buck I wanted to kill because I've got wildlife eye footage of him is standing 220 yards away from me. Wow, what a giant.
What do you got, Mark?
Well, we do have clouds at least.
Changed a little bit from that regard. Got a little mist.
It's misted?
Yeah.
Oh my
God. Not misted, I think just a heavy fog.
Oh my God. It could be on this morning.
We're ready to go. We're ready to go. Going to get the big whitetails. Got my Mr. T socks on. Jared doesn't know, but that's what I got on. We're ready to go.
Mr. T gonna die today?
He's going down.
Awesome. I'd love to see that.
What'd you say, Dad?
Make a good clean shot and we'll hit silver.
That's a good idea.
Just tell him to, I'll just have to remember to tell him to draw back.
Yeah. Last night I texted Mark when we had that big deer at 160 yards and he texted me back and he said, "Are you at full draw yet?" You're not gonna kill him if you stay in bed and stay depressed and mope around. So we're getting back after him. Justin's in a great mood. I'm in a great mood. We're having fun on the way to the stand.
I think I better get in. He might leave without me.
I decided to stop and sit for the first hour over a biologic plot to see if that doe would bring that big whitetail back in front of us.
I'm thinking I'm in the wrong spot, Mark. Hey, congratulations, you stud.
Thanks, buddy. Bye-bye.
Maybe that's a good luck phone call. Mark just smashed a giant, non-typical. We're putting a move on him today. This biologic and ground blind didn't seem like it's working. There's nothing feeding, but we've seen a cruiser down at this end of the field. We're gonna go jump in a stand down there. We're gonna sit tight and up for a long time to do. Excited. Definitely in bow range. Just 1 year too young. I haven't shot a deer with my bow yet. I've been hunting like 9 or 10 days or something like that. But the management program, we're not going to shoot young deer. Talk about being spot on. This tree is in the right spot. We just had, I think, 2 different 3-year-olds within bow range. So, I'm gonna have to reposition these stands before we get out of here today. Good deer coming. Just shoot her. Shoot her. Does lightning strike the same person twice? Apparently it does. I am shaking like a leaf. And that is the same deer I couldn't get killed yesterday, about 150 yards away. And he's right under our tree again. Second time. I don't know what to say. A lot of people say act like you've been there before, but I haven't, and I probably won't again. That is the largest deer of my life. We've got wildlife eye of him from last year and this year. He's down right there. It doesn't get any better than today. It doesn't get any better than this.
Jared?
Linda, you have to speak softly because we've got a deer within range right now.
Why are you calling me?
Because I don't think he'll hear us. Because
Get it down first.
He's dead. I killed him.
I just absolutely can't even believe it. The chances of ever seeing that whitetail again, let alone having him do the exact same thing.
For this to be the first time to get behind a camera and try to lay down some footage, I just don't know how it's gonna get any better than this.
Hey, come here. Look right there.
Oh my God.
No way.
Well, what do you say when you're sitting behind a big rack Iowa rascal like this? He's got mass all the way out to the tips of his beams. The way you get these big rascals is I laid off 3-year-olds. I just knew they weren't mature. They will be next year or the year after that. And the way you grow these big rack rascals is laying off the young ones, shoot the does, keep your doe numbers down, and then maybe the stars line up once upon a time and you sit behind the largest deer of your life and you know that today was your day. November 6, 2006, I've got Brother Justin behind the camera, did a phenomenal job with the footage. Life's all about emotional highs and lows. And right now, both of us are on an emotional high that will last a very long time.
Wow.
It's gonna be a long drag. And as these big whitetails always do, they never end up in the easiest spot to drag them out.
Come on, Jared, pull. Hey, pull. Pull.
But we've got the bad boy buggy to aid in the effort. It'll be a good ride home. We do the photo session. It's time to get the old Drury Outdoors tape measure out and figure out what these two big Iowa whitetails score.
171, and yours was what?
178.
Sweet. Nice.
I was just excited to share the greatest moment I'm ever gonna have, probably in the whitetail world, in front of the camera with Brother Justin.
To film my brother take the largest deer of his life, it's always gonna be a special page in my deer hunting book.
You want to talk about a dream season, my biggest buck ever. Now it's time to get Justin his first whitetail ever with a bow.
This could be bow kill number 1. Just go ahead and put a notch on my belt. Hopefully this belt will have enough notches on it in years to come.
You know, now I know what it's like, that special bond that Mark and Terry have hunting together. I got to experience it this year. It is something to cherish indeed. What a dream season.
Last year when we hunted with Jim Thome, we met his nephew Brandon. Brandon, in his teens, had an accident, put him in a wheelchair. Terry and I had a goal this year. We were going to try and get Brandon a deer with his crossbow.
Well, Brandon's going to attempt to try and harvest a deer with a crossbow, something he's never done. This will be a first time for him, and we're going to do our best to try and put him onto a deer.
We just got here to Terry's farm, and these guys going to a nice little spot. They're really telling us that it's going to be good, so we're looking forward to it. Hopefully we see some deer, and hopefully we get a shot at one.
Chuck, prediction?
Let's rock and roll. Brandon at his best.
Guess what?
We're running late.
Late again.
You gonna blame it on Mark?
No, I'm gonna blame it on you.
Now we're waiting on Dad.
Ready to go. Well, I've got my first guests of the season are in. It's the Thome crew. I've got two of Jim Thome's brothers and his nephew Brandon. Well, Brandon's in a wheelchair, obviously. He's handicapped, and he has never shot a deer with his crossbow. We're gonna have two different camera angles. Mark's gonna be in the tree above Brandon, and I'm in a box blind, and both of us are gonna try and videotape this and see if Brandon can get the job done. We're going to a little hidey hole of maximum that we planted. It was in beans earlier in the year. They ate all the beans. We've since planted maximum. It has just come up. It's real green. It's pretty lush. It needs a little rain, but looks like the deer are hitting it pretty good. We've got a southerly wind flow. It's absolutely the perfect spot for the wind flow that we have this evening.
You think they'll see you? Nope. You're gonna move? Nope. We're good to go. I'm ready to rock.
Put it on. You the man. Good luck to you. I'm gonna be sitting right back there watching the show.
Well, trying to get everything set up and make sure that he was concealed real well took us a little bit of time, but we got it accomplished.
Terry's going back in the box blind with Randy and Chuck. I'm going up in the tree. Brandon's on his own. Almost predictably, the does start to file out. Now it's up to Brandon.
Killer.
Unfortunately, the arrow didn't find its mark, so after we found out that the deer was not harmed in any way, we had to get back in our position.
Reload and try her again.
Yes.
We're sitting there hunting. We're hoping for any deer. Doe, buck, it didn't matter. We look off to the left. Here comes a giant.
That's my perfect 10. I know it. I got a bunch of footage of him. Wildlife.
Well, wouldn't you know it, this big buck, the perfect 10, pops out, and in my mind, I'm thinking, please, please, just get within bow range so Brandon can get a crack at him. Well, we got to watch the buck for a long time. He was on the field a pretty good while. It's got some tremendous footage of him eating in the Green Patch Plus, but he just didn't get within bow range.
Just not quite close enough for a shot. We're just hoping now that a doe or anything will walk within bow range.
Well, as that moon was coming up, it started to get a little bit higher. You could see it coming over the horizon there. When that happens, it's pretty common for deer to feed out a little bit earlier than normal.
You got her. Yes! That's what we're talking about right there. You got her, Brandon.
That's turkey just we like, right, buddy?
Yeah, baby.
I just smoked her. She fell out in the field right over here. That's awesome. That is a great feeling.
Oh, man.
Finally came through.
You smoked her too, buddy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good shot. Good shot.
Up now. That's awesome.
Good shot, buddy. Good shot.
The evening couldn't have turned out or unfolded any better. Brandon made the shot. Chuck and Randy were excited. It was just a really, really happy event. Brandon killed his first deer with a crossbow, and we were there to share it with him. What do you think,
That's
big dog?
awesome. That's awesome. That's my first kill with a crossbow, and I love it.
Shake and bake.
That's right. What I'm talking about, buddy.
Congratulations, Brendan.
That's just the first of many. The first of many. Now you broke the ice, buddy.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what?
No
No
doubt.
doubt. Now I'll be ready to go.
I don't know about
Yeah.
you guys, but I wanted him to shoot that buck.
Yeah.
No kidding.
He's gorgeous too. I got sheds of him. I've got a bunch of wildlife eye footage of him. He's a good deer. He's a 4.5-year-old deer. He's got a big body. He'd have been a good one to take.
He would have. He's
But
nice.
that one right there is just as good
Just
a
as
trophy.
good.
Yes, it is.
First
You're
one.
kidding.
That's
Yep.
Well, let's get her loaded up and get her out of here. What do you say?
The fun begins. Now we get her out, huh?
Let's get her out
Awesome,
here.
guys. Good hunt. Great hunt. One of the best
Yeah,
I've
well.
done in a while. The weekend rolled on. Big Chuck was able to take a doe. We had a great time. Had a good time with Brandon, even though I found out he's a Cubs fan. I might have a little surprise for him later in the season.
Here we go, crossing the river, Jim Thome's place, shotgun season. It's a tradition laced with a lot of family fun, and my brother Justin and I are running the cameras. Mark's gonna be on camera, Taylor, Chuck Sr., Chuck, and Jim are gonna be hunting, and no matter what, it's gonna be a real fun weekend, no matter if a whitetail hits the ground or not.
Late November, Illinois shotgun. We're heading to Illinois. We're heading to Lodge 2-5. We're going muzzleloader hunting and shotgun hunting with our good friend Jim Thome.
You ready to go hunt?
Yes.
You know how long the drive is?
Hour?
I wish.
2 hours?
4.
You know, obviously Mark and Terry both have been very special to our family. You know, they took Brandon to Kirksville, got him a doe. You know, so for me, I mean, to, I guess, kind of repay the favor, you know, to bring Taylor in and give her an opportunity. You know, it's nice. It really is. It's nice to have, you know, those guys come in and for us to welcome them kind of into our family here and have the fun that we've had over the last couple years.
Thanks, buddy. It's worth $1 to cross this river and get into Illinois for Taylor's hunt tomorrow morning. Crossing the Mississippi River, we are now in the great state of Illinois.
Hi, man. How are you? Good.
Taylor and I were headed in for the weekend. She's got a gun tag in her pocket. She's going to try and take her first deer with a muzzleloader, but I had a little present for Brandon Thome. I got you a little something. You are on my mind more than ever through these difficult days.
Being a Cub fan. Yeah.
Every Cub fan should have a World Championship Cardinal hat.
Oh, man.
And to complete the ensemble, a beautiful Cardinal red shirt.
That will not go on my body.
Look at you. You look so good in that. I don't think Brandon liked my gift. He wouldn't wear the hat, wouldn't wear the shirt. My guess is he's wearing it now when no one can see. Brandon gave me so much trouble when he was in hunt with Terry and I about how good the Cubs were. The Cardinals are in the division series at the time, and he was giving me so much trouble. I felt like he deserved at least a few moments with a World Championship hat on his head. It's always fun being over there at Lodge 2-5. It's a blast. You know, everybody's in camp. The deer are moving good, and hopefully Taylor can get her first deer with a muzzleloader.
This is my, I think, saying for today. And I actually got it from you.
What is it?
Lightning strikes twice.
Does lightning strike the same person twice?
Lightning strikes twice. You know why? What's the date today, Jared?
November 18th.
What happened a month ago?
October 18th, largest deer with a bow. We've got people going in every different direction. We all disperse out of base camp or the lodge, go our separate ways. Look at this guy. Holy smokes. I'm filming Jim, Mark and Taylor. It should be a lot of fun this weekend. What do you have in there, mister?
Chips, bananas, everything.
Are you hungry?
Not really. Hungry for a big buck.
Are you?
I know going into a set that if the wind's right and the temperatures are right, that we have a really good chance to harvest a whitetail. Going through the baseball season, you think as a hobby, you have to have a hobby outside of baseball, you know, to kind of enjoy getting your mind off of baseball, and hunting does that for me. So once the season's over, I strictly turn, first of all, to my family, and then secondly to chasing whitetail.
We're gonna get a buck, I promise you. This way, right here. It looks like 6 or 7. There's gonna be a shooter coming with him, I'll bet you. Big wide 8, definitely a shooter.
Yes.
Yep. How big? How big is he? Let's go.
Raise his head first. Stop him. Back.
We knocked him down. That's a big 8, baby, right there, right there. As Jared said, lightning strikes twice, October 18th, November 18th, baby. This is the day, right here. Yeah. Yeah.
I finally talked Taylor into trying a shot at a big adult doe.
She's at an angle.
Yeah, let her get broad.
Ready?
When you are, pull back off that leg a little bit. Pull back to the right a little bit.
Ready?
Yep.
Did I get her?
Busted her.
Oh my god. I am so nervous.
She makes the shot. We then go track the doe, and we're sitting down to do the interview about the deer, and that's when everything happened.
And this is my first muzzleloader deer. And I am so happy because it kind of kicked. What's making that noise?
Big buck.
Is that a shooter? Okay.
Man, the look on her face was priceless.
Oh my god, Dad. That was so cool. They don't even know we're here.
You see him?
Yeah. He made that sound.
Right.
Just another memory in the Illinois deer woods.
Seen her? Look closer to us.
I guess lightning does strike twice. You know, Jared was with me October 18th when I harvested my 10-pointer, and it's been a fun year. It's been a fun year. I've had a blast doing this. It concludes my gun season and bow season this year, which is a good thing because we got, you know, a lot of training coming up here, the holidays, and that little girl's been keeping me busy at home. So the one thing great what Illinois does is they do this shotgun season every year, and I think more than anything it brings families together. And we got a big dinner planned. We've got, you know, some people coming in here, you know, to have a fun night, and this will be fun to bring this big boy back and show off.
Now it's back to the lodge, and we find out Jim's got a giant in the truck.
He's huge. Nice.
That's a big deer there, Jimmy.
Thanks, buddy.
Good job, bud.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, my. Oh, Brandon, he won't let me forget about that Cardinal cap and that Cardinal shirt. Now he wants to have a bet. I brought Brandon a gift that he would not wear because he is not a Cardinal fan, he's a Cubby fan. So we bet on the season series next year, whoever wins the most games, Cards or Cubs, the other guy is going to wear the opposing team shirt. If the Cards win the series, he's wearing red cap. If the Cubbies win, I'll have Cubby blue on, and we'll put it on the next video. What is that?
Right.
Get out of here.
And this is a box of Cubby tissues for him when they win the series, for him to dry his tears up with.
So, we bet on the season series next year. Cubs win more games, I'm going to put on some Cubs apparel. If the Cardinals win more games, Brandon, you're going to wear that cap and you're going to wear that shirt.
You know, the thing about coming over here to Lodge 2.5, I just absolutely love it. I mean, Jim and Chuck and all the Thomes, they're just, well, first of all, they're gigantic individuals, and their hearts are even bigger than their personal stature. And Jim has a meal fit for a king. He's got Taylor as a special guest of honor, and we've got food and a spread that just won't quit.
You know, for me, I wanted to do something really special for the group, and you know, we got a big meal planned. We got a belly full. Hopefully these guys can get up in the morning. You know, sometimes it can be a little tough out here, but this is Illinois shotgun season. Families come together. Let's have some fun. Let's get after it.
Well, you saw some familiar faces and some not so familiar faces in this, our latest installment within the Dream Season series.
John Frank harvested the biggest buck of his life, a 174-inch giant, with his brother Adam behind the camera. Then nephew Jared harvested his largest buck ever by bow, a 178-inch Iowa giant, with his younger brother Justin manning the camera.
You saw Terry and his son Matt spend the weekend together as Matt downs that beautiful buck in northern Missouri.
Then you also saw Mark and his daughter Taylor spending some of that quality time together, father-daughter. You don't get to see that near often enough.
We dearly love this passion, this sport, and it's even better when family shares it together.
Like we always say, I hope you enjoyed Dream Season 10. It was created for you.